Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon everyone. Hello everyone. My name is Adelina Syakinawati Dongoran. I'm studied at University of Maritim Raja Ali Haji. My major is English Education Department, Faculty of Teacher Training and Education. So, I'm here. I want to tell you about the Batak Angkola tribe. Let's check it out. Okay, I will explain about the origin and history of the South Tapanuli Batak tribe. South Tapanuli Regency or is a district in North Sumatra, Indonesia. The capital city is Perak. Its district was originally a very large district with a capital city in Padang Sidempuan. The areas that are separated from South Tapanuli Regency are Mandailing Natal, Padang Sidempuan City, North Padang Lawas, and South Padang Lawas. After the division and district capital was moved to Sipiro. Okay everyone, I will explain again about South Tapanuli until Mandailing Bata Injurious Association. This group is located in Kijang City. The member of the South Tapanuli Mandailing Bata Association are Muslim. In this assembly are all like brother to them. And for this gathering, it is usually led at the beginning of every month and every Sunday. And this association also holds an arisan and is usually called a hobo social gathering. For this gathering, it is carried out at house that participant in the Batak people gathering back to find out whose host is the next host. It is carried out by drawing lots. The Batak gathering is usually held at 14 until 17 p.m. At the start of the event, is this gathering usually read Surah Yasin, and after reading Surah Yasin, then continue with prayer. Next, eat together after eat, chat for a while and then greet, and then go home. Next, I will explain again about livelihood system of the South Tapanuli Batak tribe. The livelihood system of the Angkola Batak tribe is farming, animal husbandry, transportation, and service trade and industry. Cultivate both in rice fields and plantation. This farming activity is a form of production activity to fulfill their life needs. Farming both in rice fields and plantation must have the goals to grow crops. For example, in the fields, they were using tools, namely hoes and plows, while in the fields they were using tools, namely horses, sickles, machetes, saws, and tajak. While in plantations, they were using tools, namely machetes, cycles, hoes, and silas. The people of South Tapanuli whose livelihood is farming because the land in the South Tapanuli area is very till land. In South Tapanuli, there are coffee, rubber, oil palm, cinnamon, and candle nut plantation, as well as various types fruit plantations such as durian, mangosteen, langsat, passion fruit, guava, orange, papaya, and other as well vegetable plantations such as cabbage, potatoes, chili, onions, tomatoes, eggplants, and others. And people whose livelihood or livestock are usually cattle, buffalo, goats, and others. And the people whose livelihood are transportation and service such as angkot drivers, motorized tricycles, teacher, banking service, and others. In the South Tapanuli area, there are several industries, namely the rubber industry and the palm oil industry, and also the community also work in these industries. Okay everyone, I will explain again about the traditional house of the South Tapanuli Batak tribe. The traditional house of South Tapanuli Batak tribe or Angkora is Bagas Godang. This traditional house has walls and boards made of birds. The roof is made of fiber is dominated by black. It is rectangular, its shape supported by an odd number of large logs. The room consists of a vestibule, living room, bedroom, and kitchen, and made of wood with a hole in it with 7 or 9 steps. White doors and a loud sound when the door is opened. The roof construction is in the form of the curved dolok taruk like a cart roof. Okay, I will explain again about myths and facts in the Batak tribe. 1. Married Pariban or cousin. There is a term in a Batak costume namely Pariban, which means cousin. The cousin in this case is the soulmate, but not just cousin, because not all cousins can be married. The cousin refers to here is if there is a woman, then she can marry the son of the father's younger sister. Meanwhile, if there is a man, then marry the daughter of the mother's younger brother. 2. Tuhor. Tuhor is money that is used to redeem women when they want to be proposed to by their male partners. The tuhor money will later be used for their wedding expense, buying a wedding kabaya, and also other wedding needs. All of that depending on the agreement of the man and his partner. The amount of the tuition fee depends on the level of education of the woman. The higher a person's education and position, the greater the salary. This is often done by some Batak people who still wear a culture costume. However, the more modern Batak people don't care about the money. 3. Mangulosi. Ulos is a traditional cloth from Batak costume. This is the same with the batik cloth from Java and woven cloth from NTT. There are various types of ulos, and this depends on the function and use. In the ceremony, whether it is wedding or death, will generally wear a different ulos clothes. However, not infrequently, this shows a person's strata in the social environment. 4. Abstinence from wearing one clan. Especially for Batak costume, it is strictly forbidden for them to marry someone who has the same clan as him, or not the same surname with him, but still relative in a genealogical relationship. In Batak culture, the Batak children of several clans are still seen as lineage, so that it can be said as the brother. For example, in the Narasian clan, which consists of Manurung, Sitorus, Butar-Butar, and Sirait, and 4 clans are prohibited from taking or marrying each other. Therefore, every introduction must begin with the question of the clan so as not to stumble upon the forbidden law caused by the clan. 5. Mondok Hata. Mondok Hata means talking before the New Year. This is one of the customs for Batak people. This tradition is generally carried out when gathering together with extended family and telling each other about reflection or evaluation a year after that, followed by apologizing the planning what will be achieved in the coming year. Next, I will explain again about tradition of pre-wedding procession in the Batak tribe. This tradition consists of 1. Menyapai boru, 2. Mangayuririt boru, 3. Padoman Hata. 4. Patobang Hata. 5. Manulak Sere. 6. Mangalehen Mangawan Pamunan. 7. Horja Horan Boru. 8. Marpokat Haruan Boru. Yang 9 yaitu Mangalo Ngalo Boru and Mangjangit Boru. 10. Panai Godang. 11. Batani Horja. 12. Membawa pengantin ke tepian bangunan raya. And 13. Mengalehen goral or menebalkan geral adat. Next, I will explain about there are 4 of Mandailing traditional dance. First, Saramadatu. One of dance from the Mandailing area is called Saramadatu. In the beginning, this dance was often used or performed to ask for something through the power of the spirit. This dance is only performed by one person, which is called Sibaso in practice. Second, Tortor Tepak dance. In this dance, it is usually intended as an offering dance at the wedding ceremony, with the ceremonial name Horja Godang Haruan Boru. We can interpret it is a arrival of the bride to be married. Third, Tortor Napose Nauli Bulung. This type of dance is usually performed in pairs by young dancer. The dance is performed by 3 pairs of male and female dancer and arranged in rows that are tailored to each clan. 4. Endang Endang dance. The dance is performed specifically by the people of South Tapanuli. This dance depicts an expression of happiness and joy, for example, like the harvest. Alright, the following is one of the famous Bataknese dance, the Tortor dance. That's it, guys.
Atok permusik nami, baik kamu masuk lagu Sinanggar Tullo, Bye Musike.